think this season is where they picked him up.
It's just you completely forget about anything between those. Our map veto, though, so we have 2 maps that are pre-banned. Of course, one was played by each one of these 2 teams before. Coastline Cafe Dostoevsky. A reminder that should both teams have played the same map in the previous playday, that map is banned, and then the second one that's banned is a random pick. So it can be anything. In this case, that's not the one, but I'm just clarifying everything for people. Villa Consulate banned out, which is unsurprising, I guess. Border.
Not as big a surprise either. Bank. Oh, well, that was the one that was the possibility, right?
Oh, Thatcher banned Clubhouse. Let's go. I bet you.
It's possible. Well, I'm not going to say it's possible. It's likely, unfortunately. We saw North America struggle with that and kind of give up on it to some extent. They were like, you know what? That ain't it, Chief. We're not going to do that anymore. They moved on.
Black Dragons. This is a popularity contest, by the way. It's incorrect.
Okay. So, well, that would be definitely not great.
When we have something correct, and we will show it to you. Scratch that. No internet points from those.
Yeah. Now, definitely, that's more like what I would expect. But I don't know. I feel like it could even be a little bit closer than that. That being said, it's entirely possible to go either way. I feel like INTZ have some pretty good games sometimes, but they also didn't play very good last play day. So
I mean, there's a reason why they're tied in points with Liquid at 12. So yeah, there's a possibility.
Absolutely, and I think this really could go to a draw. I mean, I feel like we've almost seen more draws in Latin America, and I don't have the stats for it in front of me, but I feel like there's probably more draws in Latin America than
3
other regions. At least one the second half, which was INTZ themselves versus Team 1.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 ties, right?
12 ties out of 10 play days. So that's more than one tie a play day. So there you go. It is a lot of ties in Latin America.
It's a bow tie, what do they call it?
I'm feeling very formal.
It's very infinite. It's like there's so many ties.
Is that how that works?
Yes.
Well, never mind, I'm not going to say. But yeah, I think there's definitely a possibility of a draw here. I mean, it was only saying 11% of the community vote. I feel like I would throw it at 15% at least.
Did you?
No, I didn't. I don't want to be biased and vote. I throw up caster predictions instead, which are biased because I literally am.
Did you put tie?
No, I didn't. I never put tie. It's not exciting to say tie. Like, I think tie matches could be exciting, but just saying draw. I'm not Dev Marta. I'm not just like, oh, draw. I should just do that next time. Just draw for everything. Just see. At least for Latin America, there's a good chance I end up right on at least one of them. So, see what the bans are. Will we get that Thatcher ban? Starting with Maverick, so definitely not going to see the Maverick.
Okay.
That's a better ban than Thatcher, in my opinion, on Clubhouse, if you want to really hold cash. And, well, I'd say even the gym bedroom as well. Capitao, all right, good choice. So this is better bans here. This is it's like the similar thing to what we saw in North America, where they kind of figured out, oh, Maverick's a better ban.
Thank God Thatcher is just not banned on Clubhouse in LATAM. Thank God.
At this point, we're just like, wow, what an achievement. Mirror to go, and then most likely Echo, given what we were talking about earlier. Less likely to be Maestro. There it is. I am very much looking forward to the possibility at some point that there's some changes to, 3 of those operators, just small tweaks that cause them to not be such consistent bans. I don't know what those would necessarily be. I have, my own ideas and things, but at the same time,
here we go.
No, I'm not gonna. I've already thrown them out before. I'm just saying, it would be nice if we could find some way to get those to not just be easy ban. But you also have to balance these operators for ranked, now unranked, casual, other leagues.
Can I just say this for a moment? Unranked is the real deal.
I am so happy that got added because
it's so fun.
Ladder anxiety is not that great, but it is ironic that it is quote unquote sweatier than ranked somehow.
I mean, honestly, look, and I completely get the ranked anxiety. I am someone that really suffers from it, half suffered from it from the past, I don't know how many years. Online playing is one thing, but playing online with this sort of thing in ranked just doesn't work for everybody. It just, you get anxious, it's fine. Nobody even cares about your rank. That's the thing. When you play in unranked, try out new stuff. People more often will talk to one another. They'll try to organize around something. It's not a toxic environment where, oh man, it's all about them elos. So yeah, it's great. I highly recommend.
I'm glad it's introducing more people to competitive settings, and I hope literally unranked is actually what helps draw people into competitive play.
That is, if you ask me, that is exactly why it was developed.
Well, yeah, that's the intention. For sure. I just hope it succeeds.
We've been crying out for it for years at this point, and finally it's there. It's a ton of fun.
That being said,
yes,
the match on
unranked
Cash
game
to start with. Yeah,
this is a very ranked
right?
game.
Yeah, we're gonna start gym bedroom. So that's the interesting part for me.
Take a nap.
They certainly are looking to try and avoid that. Shield there as well to make sure that Sophia pops up with the windows. That they cannot just get an easy shot onto potentially the Bandit, and they've got a Kaid to back it up as well. So the question is, are they going to be really focused on holding that wall with both those operators, or are they going to have one play for maybe even the Cash server wall, which does not look like?
Bullet hole being watched there by the castle, so there's nobody coming into the balcony. There's not much pressure from there. The big deal now is, okay, we have Zofia, we can deal with castle barricades and just taking away that shield. There should be an ADS here to cover, so what you're looking for is throw out any flashbangs into the drone hole by the jacuzzi wall, destroy any ADS that's in there, burn it out, and use a breaching charge to open the first castle barricade in the window, and then use the double Zofia to impact one barricade, and then you go for the shield. This is done. The Bandit's away. The Kaid can't do much at that point, and that wall.
Here's the thing, though. Realistically, you want to be able to have both lifelines. One for the shield, one for the castle barricade, but there's no sledge or anything on the attacking side to really take care of that first one. If there's
got breaching charges,
so that's what you're going to have to use, and hope that you don't get shot while from the cache or the server window, I guess.
There you go.
There's the shield.
Perfectly played. This is great analysis, Milosh. So proud of you.
Great memory
for knowing things about the game that you've been working on.
You get a gold star.
There you go. Wall's been opened up. This is very good when it comes to timing, I have to say. Wasting no time at all. Black Dragons have opened up Jacuzzi, and EMPs will be thrown out.
Jack in the castle as well.
That's a great kill.
Yeah. I hope that Jaku in the castle leads to them actually pinching him out so they can take it from both sides instead of just focusing on these windows. Because we see that often work against the attackers when they get shot trying to penetrate them. But the angles from INTZ aren't really finding a lot of attackers here. PZD, though, he's looking to get his face shot off if he's not careful. But VNX one to go first because he was just not paying enough attention because not enough of that window is open for him to be overly concerned about it, it seems. Duds, however, does trade it back. Wag as well, back and forth, and Life just closes it out like that. There's that flank from the Jackal that I was asking for. That he knew where the castle was, he knew kind of what the defense was on that side. He just happened to get a lucky second one lined up for him, that smoke. Wrong moment, wrong time. He was concerned about the windows.
Exactly, so, and that's when you push from behind.
That's what I was hoping for. That's why I love Jackal on Clubhouse, is there's always this pinch on upstairs, right, where you have to deal with two sides of it, the Jacuzzi side and the Cash side. The ability to pinch from and let the Jackal handle one of those two sides, depending on the bomb site, I think for me always works so well, just because he doesn't necessarily need a whole crew with him, doesn't need people droning like crazy, because the rotations upstairs are so limited in terms of the pathways they can take, there will be footprints. Especially if they're playing anywhere near site. It's not like one of those far off spots like downstairs somewhere where there may or may not be footprints. There's going to be footprints up there. You're going to catch some people if they're playing anywhere near there. We will see them rotate to Church, though, despite having the opportunity to play upstairs. I'm going to go with something maybe a little bit safer, that gym bedroom defense. They were hoping might work, but I didn't see them really do anything special that said, you know what, this defense is the one to start with. As you mentioned, pretty much it was textbook. It was kind of the defense you'd expect. The shield sometimes isn't there, and they just go to Kaid instead. But other than that, it's pretty textbook.
One thing we will mention again later on, but we'll say it now. There's a person on Twitter, Anna Seowl, has posted percentages of teams making it to LAN for every region now, at least LATAM, NA, and EU, because, well, APAC LAN is very soon. But for LATAM, NIP are at 99.06% making it to Japan. FaZe Clan, 82%, INTZ, 4%.
See, I wonder how that's calculated, though.
It's honestly, you look at it, and
because that's what determines. Like, I mean, it does to an extent. I'm just saying, like, how it's calculated definitely makes a difference. But it's good to have the extra information there.
So there you go. We'll have more of that for later, I guess. But thank you very much, Anna. It was fantastic. So here we are. It's Drunks downstairs in the Kaid. You're not really surprised by seeing this setup from the defense. It's super defensive. It makes sense for the setup that you have. Black Dragons should have complete map control, and having the Thatcher plus the double hard breacher is just best case scenario, right?
Yeah. Doing a good job clearing quickly here with drones and Jackal, but it did take Jackal a little while to get in. I mean, the first minute before he's really kind of in the actual building, it's not great speed-wise, just because he could be doing it a little bit faster. But they could start ticking off that checkbox, the whole checklist we like to talk about in terms of what you need to do to start things out here. And this is one of the few bomb sites in the game where you can pretty consistently check off a lot of stuff at the beginning. And so much comes down to, like, I would say a longer sort of execute in a way. Like a lot of other bomb sites, you know, the execute does have to kind of come down to the very end because it takes so long to take map control. But this is one of those ones where it's just like, it's all about the last, say, 45 seconds to a minute of like semi-pushing. Like you're not just pushing, but you're setting up a push that whole time.
Yeah.
Rather than just like, you know, let's drone people for a while, let's play off of our early picks, and then go at the last second.
You're pressuring basically the whole time. You're slowly advancing. Corralling, this is a very good way to put it. So you see all of the holes that have been opened up here, and not sure if Live is expecting the Jaeger in the back there.
How aggressive will he get?
Yeah, but there are footprints that were spotted near the engine here, the generator. So no push just yet. Live's just going to be holding things off by blue stairs. GDN finds one kill, and oh, VNX super close here.
Wow.
Shotgun, everybody goes down from INTZ. It's just they peaked at the wrong moment, basically, and this was just an all-out push close to a victorious round. There we go, flawless from Black Dragons in round 2.
Yeah, that was dominating. Just the amount of angles that they had on INTZ. They just were not winning any of those fights. Nope. You see the confidence here in these first 2 rounds from Black Dragons. They seem to be doing a good job, but I gotta imagine a lot of that's good droning and good communication. That's the one thing we can't highlight. We can sometimes catch the drones, but we can't ever hear what they say. But a lot of executions like that, like in the most literal sense of executions, really come down to good communication, but also, you know, good reflexes. Because you can have someone, say on INTZ, just flick like crazy, and while getting pinched, still pick off 2. We've seen that a number of times from players that are just game sense mode or just pure adrenaline fight or flight mode. They could just flick around on pinches, but well done so far. 2 rounds in a row for Black Dragons. So all those people favoring Black Dragons, you know, looking pretty smart right now. But, I mean, this is Clubhouse. Like, 2 attack rounds in a row that dominant, that's pretty good. I mean, overall for Clubhouse, because they just, generally, Clubhouse attacks are not that great in Latin America, especially. So, this is not looking good for INTZ overall. I think bringing the Mozzie, though, and the Mute, that's the right play here. That is the thing that may help them pull this off. So Black Dragons are just going to have to work around that.
An update, since our admins have given us official information, should today, in our next 2 matches, NIP win their match and Team 1 lose theirs against FaZe Clan, NIP would be officially the first team to qualify for Japan.
Wow, that's impressive. I mean, I gotta imagine Giants, they're right behind them on that, potentially.
Yes, yes indeed.
So, good for NIP. And I gotta imagine they should be a little cautious of the MIBR we saw last play day, but they just haven't consistently been good this season. So, anyways, that's next match. But Black Dragons, this match, looking like maybe they deserve some land play.
They're definitely tearing into INTZ here. You can be as intrepid as you'd like, but you have to change it up. And
I appreciate the adaptations, from INTZ and bringing the Mozzie here.
Yeah, this is the change up basically. You're defending downstairs in the basement, in church. Let's roam top floor. Let's see what we can do, because playing right on site and super defensive is just not gonna work against Black Dragons in the way that they're assaulting.
I don't like a 2-man roam up here though without an escape route for at least one of them, because if you're on a suicide mission up here, and that you're gonna lose at least one guy unless they just really make a lot of mistakes. There's the first one, and the second guy has got to at least pick off 2 to be worth the trade on his life, and he gets 1, so there's a start there. But actually, Drunk's at low health now as well, unfortunately. But see, this is the problem. Now it's advantage Black Dragons because Drunks is downed, or at very low health. No, he's going to get picked back up at least. Live, however, is at low health as well. But the 2 hard breachers there for utility. Just no Thatcher to help with that. Board just overplaying the roam, though.
Live will contest and find the kill as Board tried to cross from the bathroom down into church, into the basement again. Now Black Dragons have a ton of time to work with as they open everything up. As you said, the double hard breach. The Kite is still available, so you might be able to block certain parts of the map, but this hatch push should be denied. There you go. Live, very well done. Drunks, unable to do much, just staying up by motorcycle, and he will immediately get shot to bits. Intact lasts alive as he fires a few shots downrange into the entrance from Memorial, but instantly taken away. Black Dragons look like they're playing with their food right now.
Yeah, this is what I mean. It's just the roam upstairs, you're going to lose people on it. Overplaying it like that, the way the castle was not the play to double down on your losses. They needed to win some of those initial fights. The problem is, if you're playing against the Jackal, you're much less likely to win those fights upstairs. I mean, the Jackal is going to be your counter to being surprised. That is what you need. And if they're thinking, oh, Mozzie Mute, we can kind of deny a bit of the droning, maybe we could play with that. And the castle was meant to be like finally that last surprise. But it's too risky, especially when you're already getting dominated. Your gunplay doesn't seem to be on point. Black Dragons, however, their communication and droning is, that's not the time to try and surprise them one player at a time. You either need plays where you can kind of pinch the attacker and drop, say, a Jackal who's just tracking one of you. That's what you need to play off of possibly, is if you can get the Jackal alone, tracking just one of you, he's going to be focused on that, and you can get the other one surprised. The problem is, the rest of the team is going to be entering top floor too. You can't just isolate the Jackal to kill him and then be able to play surprise or rotate back. You've got to deal with the whole team. To be fair, though, INTZ at least traded back a few kills and did even it out to a 3-3 because they were able to get the Mute back up. That being said, that's why the castle was definitely the misplay on that, and is not the way to go. They should have just played back on site, took advantage of the time they were able to burn. We'll see, though, if they make any more changes this round. I do think the Mozzie Mute, though, was a good choice, just not how they played it. I would like to see them use that again. If they go back church and just not roam with it, and just use it to really hold a lot of the channels going into sight. Because you're going to have to waste Thatchers on hatches, potentially, if you're bringing, say, a Kaed, and then make them waste those Thatchers there, save the pests for after they've already used the Thatchers, and then you can stop the drones into sight when they're actually setting up for the execute. That being said, they're going to try upstairs again here, and instead of going to cache, again, gym bedroom. This feels like a misplay, because this site is just not that great. I mean, at least it's not bar, but still. If you're already behind this bad, again, don't double down on it. Cash is better.
Well, INTZ so far have been losing quite heavily, and okay, you get one kill, but what do you sacrifice? You sacrifice the Kaed. That's a huge operator to just let go.
Especially on the wall where, like, the bandit's not going to be able to stay there, whereas a Kaed can actually play from behind still. Also, Maverick's ban. Why wouldn't you play Cash, That's like the site where you get the most benefit out of banning Maverick. Like, INTZ are the ones who ban Maverick. I don't know. And that's what I was saying. Those whys that I try to balance out with positivity earlier on, because these situations come up and it's like the old shaking my head.
SMH my head.
Yeah.
As they say.
You really doubled down.
Yes.
On two. Wow, a 3-3 situation again, though, and this time finally favoring INTZ. Okay. Black Dragons just getting overconfident.
You just hold on to one part of the site just in cash solo. But now, Black Dragons actually having killed Intact, they can just go in and isolate part of the site. PZD will reload, and he's on his own right now. You go in for the fight, and Panico wins it. There's one more left alive, and PZD can go and plant. But Duds is waiting for the crossfire here. You'll see the Thatcher run back and go into Jim. You know that there's one more player that can come in through there, and you can deny from the secret vault.
Oh no, wrong
turns around. Oh no, goes for one hip fire, and everything just stopped. Black Dragons at incomplete control. This is like...
This might be a quick one.
Do I want to do a Warhammer reference for this?
It will be one I don't get. This is my kicks moment.
Really?
Well,
you told me you had like the old fantasy stuff from it.
I didn't do war. I don't paint minis, so it's not fun for me. That's work. That's a job.
I've been
paying a lot of money to do.
One of our producers actually does that quite consistently. He does it so well. I'm like,
oh,
I wish I had
props to
the
you
time
if you
for
could,
it.
if you could pull that off.
No,
but
I can't.
I'm not doing that.
I've been wanting to do it, and I'm like, okay, this summer will be the one to do it because I can sit on the balcony and not breathe the noxious fumes all
To be honest,
day.
this game consumes our lives, so.
Yes. That is very true.
Until I get some little mini figures of this game that I could paint, you know.
You have chibis.
I do, but they're already painted.
You can like sand them
scratch
off.
it off.
Yeah, I mean, Flynn has a ton
Little
of
cute
sandpaper
chibis.
that he uses for other things. You might be able to kind of find them and use them for your own volition.
Good to know he has some grit after all. So, the Clash.
Seen more grit on a koala.
Fuzzy little guys.
They're not. They're aggressive. They're atrocious.
Yeah, but they're drunk like half the time off that
Much like-
eucalyptus, so that's when you get them.
Much like...
Wait till their head's against the tree, half asleep, and go grab them.
Do they also sleep in hoodies? Because I'm trying to see the connection here.
I can see that. I can see a little Flynn koala in a hoodie. PZD and Live definitely doing the lion's share of the work here. 7 each and then 2 for the rest, but you got to appreciate the support from the players. A lot of trades, a lot of setups and pinches. So, I mean, a lot of their kills might even be on trades. That might be why you're seeing 2 for a lot of the teams.
Yep.
We're seeing INTZ trade a few kills, and that gives the opportunity for PZD and Live to trade those back and then get 2 pieces a lot of the time. Finally going to see a cash defense, though. Maybe too little too late when it's 4-0. And this is a defender-sided map, especially when Maverick is banned. Like, right now, the fact that Black Dragons have won 4 attack rounds, in theory, in my mind, they've already won this match. In that sense. And going off, statistics and all the other stuff of how this map leans, they've won already.
Yep, it's 4 rounds on attack. Usually it's 4 on defense.
Yeah, and as I said, with the Maverick banned, that is when it's so much easier. This is the site that should benefit from the most. So if INTZ loses, especially with the Clash to try and hold off that hole after, this is where they should be able to take it.
They're trying to stop anything to stun lock the bandit by putting
That's a really good idea, actually. I like that idea.
We have never seen this sort of thing played in the
that? I think a shield tried to put there, or they put the wooden barricade, and it doesn't work.
It still happened. Why? The first stun pushes the Clash back. So the shield is open. The second stun will hit anybody behind it. So it doesn't matter.
True. You still can do it, but that's a lot of dedicated utility because you can't
Always
do it
used
twice.
to.
That's the thing. You do. But it's usually just to make sure that it works. In this case, you have to use 2 to make sure that it works.
You still have the counter for it. It's a great idea in theory, on paper. But
yeah, I prefer the shield to force them to use a grenade lifeline, an impact lifeline as well. Like an actual deployable shield there. I'm not sure that would work, to be honest, though, because it might still get around it. I think it probably would.
I'm not sure if there was a mute jammer being played here.
Yeah.
If there was one to cover the drone hole, then it's possible that you can use like one impact to try to go through it, or maybe actually like not even care about it and just run your drones from.
Lots of play and counterplay, which is what we love about bandit tricking in general.
Yeah.
It always creates, and Kai tricking, just creates so much counterplay in this game. Either way, though, the Clash has actually moved away to try and hold the stairs instead. I like that idea. Stop a flank. Again, I think the Clash is a good choice if you can play off of it, and the rest of your teammates can actually get kills. So it's not just a player standing there doing nothing while everyone else is dying around it, which does tend to happen. Lost it! Overcommitted without the Thatcher. Maybe just Panico didn't hear the call?
He panicked.
Yeah.
Here we go. It's panic at the cash room. So 4-0 now, and you have to go. There's 15 seconds left. Go and plant ASAP. GDN is still alive somehow as Panico finds 1 kill. There's no more utility left here for Zofia, and they actually will go for gunfights. I'm not sure what's going on. VNX, why did you do it? Double kill to come in from Born. Diffuser is set. It'll get shot from every angle, and he tries to bikini body it. But Wag goes in for the bash. And Black Dragons collect 1 more round. You know what might have saved this round should it have existed?
Let's hear it.
Boss G ACOG.
That was probably the play.
Boss G ACOG would save everything.
That other video, yeah, with the Boss G ACOG.
It's hilarious.
I'm enjoying those memes.
It's worth every penny.
Yeah, no, they're paid for memes, but they're worth it. And so please, you're spending your money, so keep it up, guys. Everyone paying for those for our entertainment.
No, it's just bikini.
Let's do it. Well, there was the one that Space Station did as well.
Did they?
The Steve O one. That was worth.
That's true.
Anyways, shouts to everyone just keeping social media interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, can we just like have more of those between tournaments? Because usually it's like
we need those
before
like
Raleigh. There was like 2.5 weeks where there was
here's an
nothing.
idea. Let's get Ubi to drop some bucks for some of those for the lands. Ubisoft. to buy some of those for the next, for commercial breaks during Japan. Let's get some of those in there. Just some of the different weird cameo kind of things. And
yeah, just call up Johnny Sins to actually be a cameo during the event.
There's so many possibilities.
That'd be hilarious.
But
man is a national treasure.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. He has been an astronaut, a military man, a veteran, of course, a doctor, a teacher, among many other things. Definitely
well-rounded Renaissance man.
Very true. So here we are, round 6, and it's all Black Dragons' way.
Not even 4 kills for anyone on INTZ. They are just getting destroyed.
I mean, PCD has 1 more kill. There has 1 kill less than everybody on INTZ combined.
That's one of those things that really, really doesn't matter at this point.
INTZ are in defense, and yes, kills don't really matter in the basic way.
I mean, in the sense of comparing to his teammates, because they're all just
ooh, Black Dragons. Are they actually going to go for a
This
rush?
looks like a tunnel rush, but they need to drone it carefully, and they need to do it fast. You cannot do this slow. You have to fully commit to it, because the worst part is when you go to commit to a rush, and then you lose a couple people, and then just back off and rotate and spend like 45 seconds trying to do a new setup.
And then you push at the last 50.
Fizzle out, yeah. So they are waiting. You see this first? They're just planning carefully. There is the Vigil on the roam as well, potentially. Setting up for it. I don't think that INTZ no. So here we go. Rush coming on in.
Stuns.
See if they're going to put INTZ in this dirt.
PCD. Okay, there we go. There's 1 rotation, but there's some pressure put up. And there's the cut. He does some work. No, instantly gets shot. PCD takes the full damage and actually gets taken out. Drunks holding on from blue. There's no stuns to put him in place, and unfortunately Live will look the other way. Boar finds 1 more. The round are pretty much done at this point, and this is why those rushes don't really work. You really have to be fast, as you said, use whatever utility you have. So you kill the Qa'id and then instantly fire off your two stuns before you expose yourself too much to the doorway.
That's the problem, is you're stuck in tunnels. Like blue is a tunnel, this is a tunnel. All they have to do is fire into those holes that you're coming out of.
That's not a way to talk about John, but I guess so. Panico will find 1 kill, quickly dispatched. That's Diffuser on the floor, and Wog left with 20 HP against 3 opponents. They know where he's at.
Yeah.
The wall is left soft here, so
Diffuser's over in dirt as well.
that wall might have been a better place to rush through.
Yeah, at this point, it might have been the play on the Bearing 9, maybe even. Well, he's hoping some of them gift themselves to him as sacrifices. Because with such low health, he cannot really just push himself into an engagement without being able to kind of catch one of them off guard.
Blood for the blood god.
This is the church.
Will there be any skulls added to the throne? That's 1. And it's a headshot from Wog onto Boar. 2 left alive. They're full HP. And there's 8 bullets left in that Type 89. The Valkyrie is watching the 1 entryway.
Oh, boy.
Overexposed. You're dead.
The goo mine alone might just have killed him at that point. And if USN last night was any indicator, they could have won that if they had Factor. It would have just gone in and bodied them all.
USN is usually the bar as which we meant.
Hey, that being said, though, that is a Pro League team and a Pro League player.
That's true.
And, so
That's why I said it.
wrong region.
Why does everybody think that I'm just being sarcastic in everything I say?
Is that a sarcastic statement or a rhetorical question? Or you can't. You didn't say /s, so I don't know.
Kappa.
Well, church to start with here, because they're not going to waste many rounds on, not waste many rounds on gym defenses, for example. But kudos to INTZ for winning a round, that was such a gifted round. I don't want to give INTZ too much credit for that, because they really just were gifted that round. I mean, they didn't even have a good defensive setup in dirt. They were not even prepared for a dirt rush, but it was like the fact that they had players in blue that all they had to do was fire the cross. There's not much you have to do in that situation. Just deny it. Like, I mean, unless they get it. The problem is, to make a play like that, you need like Ash Rush style plays. You need them running into Arsenal before they know you're there. Not the slow play, not the, oh, let's creep up, we'll kill one of them at the entrance. By the time they killed the player at the door between Dirt Tunnel and Arsenal, that was it. That was the end of that rush, because now they know you're there. Now they have time to position someone to fire at that doorway. You can't do anything unless you just have happen when you're gunfights.
So far, no gunfights. I'm just hearing a lot of doors being fired through, those poor doorways.
Likely one of the last few rounds here we'll get in this match, as they have now switched sides.
Yep, and defense obviously has a big advantage. I know, don't look at the first half, but
yeah,
usually when teams are on the defense here, they'll be able to collect so many rounds just because it's so much easier to play. Inherently, it has an advantage. Goo mines have been spotted, and duds will fire into him. Is this one taken away in blue, at least from the drop in oil pit? There's a Maestro camera that's been spotted. It's a good Maestro camera. And there's the ADS. It catches off one of those impacts from a greedy Zofia. And duds, don't tell me he's gonna burn. I'm not sure if it's really worth burning the ADS with double impacts for that Maestro camera with so much time left. Like, literally anything could do it. In my perspective, it might be a bit too much.
Yeah, we'll see. Things definitely slow going for INTZ. And that's the thing here is Black Dragons were much swifter in a lot of ways in terms of getting the checklist done. But at the same time, they also were swift on the execute, so it didn't really matter too much time-wise. If Panico can deny this hatch here, which he's a little slow in doing so, and fails. Oh no, he actually succeeds with the second impact. But now he can't deny another, so if there is next Cairo left, as there is,
yep.
He's just going to stand here, though. That seems like a mistake. But you never know. He might catch someone's face peeking in. Unlucky for him. No one exposing themselves just yet. They're droning instead to see what the reaction is to that hatch being open. And that's, I always like to see that in this game, is droning to see reactions when you do things that are very loud and noticeable. Because you want to know, what does that change about the defense? These shots.
There you go. GDN finds VNX.
They know
why was VNX on his own?
Executed.
Finally, the drone play will indeed work out. Flashbangs will be thrown in, but the positioning is pretty good here for Black Dragons. Wag will find one kill onto Boar, and here's an extra smoke at the top. There's Intact that just got picked up at 20 HP, and the hatch is open in kitchen, yeah, but you have all information, all eyes on this. You're not going to get away with a drop.
Nice try. Oh,
say that. What? Oh, he takes minimal damage. Second grenade. He's somehow still alive.
Catch.
Oh, PZD gets one kill onto duds, but here's one more for live. Last is Intact, and he got picked up. Doesn't matter. He's back down on the floor. Black Dragons take another one, and now they're on map and match point.
Well, unlikely we're going to see that tie situation after all. This is INTZ playing like they did last play day, unfortunately. Just not doing well. That being said, it is possible that it is somewhat due to them losing their coach. They did lose their coach recently, and that might be impacting them as a team. Hard to say, though. Really hard to say. But, you know, if there's anything we could point to for why they might be doing a little bit poorly lately, that could be it. We'll see Cash here. Again, that is the best defensive site when Maverick is banned, especially if you can hold Garage well. And even better if you can impact trick and deny angles being open on the garage doors. Especially if you can also deny the cash wall, then that's... You're in a good place at that point. They are going with the Bandit Minnow Kaid to back that up. Kaid. There we go.
It's correct.
Close
pretty
enough,
good.
Right?
No, you do a pretty good job of it. I'm very proud of you, Devin.
I only do that one just for you, so that way I could do all the other things I do.
Thank you very much for restoring balance.
Thanos would be proud. Snap, snap.
Hey man, Thanos did nothing wrong.
Well, so far, Black Dragons, other than that one round, doing nothing wrong. They are definitely going to be playing this to end it here. INTZ going to have to play very careful. I mean, if anything, they just need to play into a bit of BD's overconfidence. I'm not saying they've been overconfident, but I'm saying they could be. So if they get an early pick, you can actually take advantage of that because they're going to be feeling very confident, and then just do something really unexpected, but smart. It can't be a dumb unexpected thing necessarily, but something unexpected at that point when they're going to be confident that their hold is working. Little psychological games like that can work, but that's one round you get out of that. So I don't know if there's much you could use to come back, unless you can get them tilted, I guess. BD's just playing really well.
Who knows? At this point, any time you can waste off of what INTZ have is great.
Absolutely.
And here it is. Utilities being used here on Jacuzzi to enter. You see that's kind of firing in, taking out cameras, checking every angle. INTZ are being very cautious. Obviously, this is the last round potentially for them in this game. So now they realize, okay, instead of just trying to push in from the main balcony entrance to cash, let's just let go of that and come in from the other way. It's usually a last-ditch effort and not your initial strategy. But right now, Black Dragons have read them like an open book, and PZD standing downstairs with Live here in the bar, and they are waiting by the podium. They can just shoot out any sort of utility that is put on the wall, because nobody's trying to do anything about them. Nitro Cell comes out, does not connect, and this is just wasting more time. There's a drone on the floor, and Live doesn't do anything to it. He's going to go for the gym window, and...
You need the intel to make this play. You could easily jump into getting shot very quickly. Here we go, the bullet hole peaks.
Wow.
Just read into. They have control of bedroom. You're not alone there. PZD, those flank a little bit too late to save his teammate.
There's a drone set on top of this staircase. We saw it before. It has been repositioned.
You got to keep in mind, though, all players alive on INTZ means they might not be watching it.
There was a drone here that was put up on top. And exactly as you say, just because it's there doesn't mean that it's being watched or it's going to be relevant for the round. The window will be second pressure position here. There's 4 players left versus the 5, and this is why you see the Valkyrie rotate back on site. The attack is imminent, but unfortunately with the speed of this assault, usually you need the extra bodies on site. VNX finds WAG as well. So Garage clear of the Maestro. Flashbangs have been thrown in as even the wall here has been opened up from balcony. And this is looking like an INTZ round. They're doing this so well, and it's off of Black Dragons' over-eagerness to finish things out. You talked so well about this, Emzo. One more kill. They connect. Panico, so left on his own, trying to draw time, unfortunately, as he peeks for the last. As Intact is ready with a bearing 9, and round is over. INTZ, man, Emzo, he's so smart. He knows everything.
They overplayed that roam, too. Like... You didn't have the intel for it. Again, that overconfidence, like you said, they did play into that. INTZ just played a lot more careful. You saw the amount of droning they were trying to do. They were throwing drone after drone to not play it blind. And it paid off. They were absolutely on top of it. Catching the Jaeger, though, opening up that bullet hole, that was it right there from the Habana, just spraying on him immediately as soon as he made some noise. But you isolate yourself in that gym room. You can't go anywhere other than jump out the window at that point. I mean, you can drop, but if you drop right into a trap, that doesn't help you. So, they're going to try cash again. I got to imagine play a little smarter this time. They're going to main the Kaed. Try and help with that as well. So, to kind of double down on stopping the walls from getting opened. I think this is the player. Black Dragons, if they just go, let's bring back guys, let's rein it in, let's not make some of those dumb mistakes, then it ends this round. If INTZ, though, are able to capitalize on some of those small mistakes early on to get some early picks, that could play in their favor, because Black Dragons definitely give away a few picks early because INTZ were just playing careful. However, that being said, good clutch attempt. It was just too late in the round because too much ground had been gained by INTZ. So it wasn't even necessarily the early picks, in my opinion, that gave INTZ that round. It was the map control they had and the walls being open and things like that. That just left BD in a situation where it was very difficult to clutch it out. But you saw the effort there from the Bandit. So if Black Dragons can keep map control a little bit better this time and play for at least trades off that map control, easy round for them, in my opinion. We'll see if they can do it, though. I gotta imagine INTZ are going to be playing very careful. Black Dragons, though, ideally should be playing careful as well. But I also think they should be playing in pairs. And that was one of the things we saw was, for example, PZD rotating up too late to be able to save his teammate. If you're going to play any kind of flex roam, like Live playing over here in gym, either play in pairs or have some kind of intel. There is Valkyrie, so there could be cams. You're going to have likely someone on site that doesn't need to be doing anything at the moment. Should be on cams for him. He gets droned, though, so they know he's there. Smart of him to just push back and be ready to contest connector instead of staying in gym. Instead, he's going to rotate, though, potentially. This is where he's taking advantage of all those cams. So I like this here. This is much better play. He knows where he's playing at. This is smart from Live.
This is great, and I don't know if you'd be expecting a Valcam to be set up in that position. Are you okay, Def?
I don't know what it is. It's the dust in the air these days.
Yeah, it's Katowice. Get used to it, man. It's been.
I know it's like I'm breathing in sawdust.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Well, PZD is in the bar still, and there he is. Hits the nitro. Perfect timing with the camera. Unfortunately, though, for BD, they do end up losing him. The buck being lost for the Valkyrie. Equal trade of this.
At least he'd opened up a fair bit of things. I mean, he wasn't critical, but if he hadn't used his nades yet, that's a pretty big loss, in my opinion, just because once you start to clear things out as you're going to anyways, like, you can really use those nades, because the positions are fairly well known of site anchors.
I wonder if there's any EMPs left at this point. Should be at least one.
Yeah,
Again,
unfortunately, yeah.
For LATAM, we can't control the cameras.
Exactly. Let's see. Well, Wag able to stay in garage here uncontested. He is gonna do a potentially little. Oh, there's Duds down. All right, this is going heavily Black Dragons now. They're playing smart. They're not throwing away their lives. I can't see INTZ taking this, but at least they still have some time to try. But without the wall open, this is gonna turn down to a connector push probably, and that's not gonna work.
I'm not sure about that play. The Habana will use all of her Skyros, and I assume that there's no more EMP left. That's why you don't see the wall being opened up. 25 seconds. You have to come in from one doorway. You don't have anything to deal with your opponents except for flashbangs. And that's not going to work too well. There's one kill. The second is spotted. Live is just collecting heads and intact. Well, he's not too tact after this one.
Yeah.
It's Black Dragons that secure the game. GG, well played. It's game one.
Well done by Black Dragons. INTZ at least able to capitalize on 2 rounds of mistakes by Black Dragons, but that's really all it was. Other than that, they were playing a little bit smarter on that second win on the attack. That being said, once Black Dragons were like, oh, let's not do that again,